Thanks for checking in with Down the Road Show. We're here at the Long Beach Comic-Con 2011. Welcome back to Down the Road Show. Once again, still here in Long Beach Comic-Con 2011, and I'm here with Tim Bradstreet. How you doing, Tim?
I'm good. I'm very good.
Yeah. You just filmed your panel upstairs with Thomas Jane. That was fun.
Frightening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm almost out of questions for you now. It's like, I got everything on camera already.
It's Halloween weekend.
Let's talk about last night then.
We're naked below the waist.
Yes.
And
but you can't see.
And this is my elephant costume. All I do is pull the pockets out of my... So yeah, we just had that, it was a nice panel.
Yeah.
Started out a little...
cool panel.
A little chunky.
Right.
I was on my own there for a little while.
Right.
But
like, Jane walked in and saved the day.
Jane saved the day.
And I got to say, it was a unique Q&A. I've been to a lot of panels and a lot of Comic-Cons, and it was a unique Q&A because there was only one question asked at the very end.
Yeah, we had a Q&A that was all of one question. That was beautiful.
It was, yeah, all of one question.
But I did invite everyone
Jane
to come
just
down.
kept going, he kept rapid firing at you.
He did,
it was like, he's like your biggest fan,
well,
I think.
he's, yes, and thankfully, and that's why we work together, and it's mutually beneficial. Mm-hmm. And yeah, and plus I said, hey, anybody that's got questions, come on down to the booth.
Right. That was cool.
I'll
the way
answer
you
your
opened
questions.
it up to everybody.
Well, and plus,
like,
I think we went 20 minutes over.
Yeah, you did. Steve Niles didn't seem to care, though.
No, they didn't care.
They didn't look like they even wanted to do their panel.
No, they didn't want to do it.
So you've been doing Comic-Cons for a long time.
Long time.
Since you were 14, you said up there, you went to your first Comic-Con. You got a favorite Comic-Con story?
Man, you know,
especially as a professional?
If I wasn't on the spot, I could probably think of 3 or 4 really good ones. But now that I'm on the spot, can I think of a good Comic-Con story?
What is it you love about Comic-Cons?
Meeting the fans. You know, it's if you were sitting there and you heard me tell you about John Byrne and what a douche he was when I met him and how I was so crestfallen. Oh, poor Tim, he was crestfallen because John Byrne was a jerk. No, the guy is a jerk. And, sorry, John, kind of a jerk. But, you know, that was the day I swore to myself, if I ever make it, that ain't going to be me.
Right.
And so it was, thank you, John Byrne, taught me how not to be in this business.
Right.
Which, actually, I mean, I'm dead serious when I say that.
No, and I know what you're saying, because having done the Comic-Con tour this year like crazy, I've seen that from a lot of artists, and I love seeing the pros that have been in the business for a while that take the time for the fans. You know,
sure.
Like Kevin Eastman drew Teenage Ninja Turtles for 3 hours for his fans yesterday.
Yeah.
3 hours solid.
I know, amazing,
and you just
right?
don't see that.
Yeah, and guys like Bernie Wrightson. I mean, for every, you know, pretentious, arrogant jackwad that is sitting at one of these shows, there's 5 guys who are, you know, like Bernie Wrightson, who's a legend in this industry, who are the most down-to-earth, friendly, gregarious, warm people that you'll ever meet.
Right.
And they want to help you. You're not competition. You know, they're not charging you for autographs. And they're genuinely here to embrace the fans. And
right.
and that's what it's all about.
Yeah. Well, speaking of arrogant jerkwads, Wes Huffer's taking photos off camera.
Yeah.
Hey, Wes.
Arrogant.
Yeah.
Jerkwad. And there's 1 or 2 other that we could.
Look at
It's
video bomb.
It's the devil.
So, what is it that's different about the Long Beach Comic-Con? Why do you keep coming back? Do you like the small cons?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, you know, this one's.
I'm not calling you a small con, Long Beach, but you're kind
This
of
one's
small.
in our backyard. So I mean, it's between where Tom lives and where I live. So it's like a great San Diego. We set up we have our booth there. We have our booth here. We don't really do that anywhere else. So we like the local shows, and in Long Beach we've been with those guys since their first year, and have supported them any way we can. We loved this show when it was Wizard World LA when it first started, and of course the guys that run this show ran those shows, and they're fantastic, and I never understood the whole competition of shows. Mm-hmm. You know, they're cutting each other's throats, planning shows for the same weekend, and it's like, how about a little solidarity? Our industry is hanging on by a thread, and there's all this competition and infighting amongst people trying to support it, and it just seems ludicrous to me. But Long Beach, what else can you say? I mean, it's Long Beach, California. It's beautiful. You walk out the doors, there's the ocean, there's the Queen Mary, there's 1,000 things to do. There's a movie theater right across the street. This is how boring I am. Hey, it's Friday night, I'm gonna go see a movie, you know?
And the zombie walk last night set a Guinness Book of World Records.
Did it set the record?
That's what I heard. They actually did set the record. So.
I took a picture for my buddy Gail Ann Hurd of a sea of zombies. I thought she might enjoy. I haven't sent it to her yet, but I thought if I don't, I gotta shoot this. Gail will love this. So that'll be great. She's one of the Walking Dead people, so she'll appreciate it. I wish she would have been here to see it. I thought she might come down this weekend, but John Carpenter's here. I mean, what's not to like? Yeah,
it's cool, and it's not just a comic book convention in Long Beach. It's a comic book horror con.
Yeah.
So
that was a smart move. You know, this space is available in a small window. It ended up being Halloween. It hurt them last year because people have to take their kids trick-or-treating. They don't want to be out of town on this date, you know.
Right.
This year, the way they came at it was, let's make it a horror convention. Let's embrace the Halloween if we're there. And I think it really helped.
Yeah, it's been the costumes, the cosplayers, and everything here this weekend has been great.
And sometimes you just can't see the forest for the trees when you're planning something like that. And I mean, like I said, last year they were forced into that weekend, so they didn't have time to plan. Hey, well, why don't we make it a? But this year, great, and man, you saw all the people out last night.
Yeah.
I mean, it was amazing.
The bars were insane last night.
Absolutely, and great crowd, good traffic. I mean, lots of friendly people, wonderful people, old friends. That's another nice thing. Old friends up here.
That's what I love about the cons too.
Can't beat it.
Keep running into the same wonderful, warm artists and making new friends. And yeah, that's why I'm doing the con life.
Or I'll even see like I see you at like 4 or 5 shows a year. We kind of chat, hi, hey, how you doing? And but eventually we end up hanging out somewhere, and then I actually get to know you,
right?
And you and 100 other people. You keep going to shows, and you collect, cultivate. I mean, it's all good.
Yeah, it is like a collection of friends, really.
It really is.
And the more I keep doing these, it's funny the third-party people I end up meeting that all know each other because of cons.
Yeah, exactly.
It's definitely an experience. Well, let's talk about comic books real quick here, because you were talking in your panel some of the old school techniques of comic books. How has the new technology changed the way you view your art?
It speeds it up a little bit in post-production.
Right.
Like we're not sitting there coloring on blue lines. The way I do my work is the way I've always done it. Yes, digital cameras took me out of the darkroom. That's beautiful. And as a photoreal artist, that's a real boon. But essentially, it's all organic. It's all still drawn on paper. It's all, there's a craft and a technique and a stylization and an organic process there. And you have to embrace the technology to a degree, because if you don't, that's fine if you're Frank Frazetta or you're a wonderkind illustrator, but if you're a guy that, has to make a real living and work really, not that those guys don't work hard, but you know what I mean.
Right,
you don't want to be a dinosaur. You want to still be relevant to companies that are changing gears on, how they'll visually present what they do. Mm-hmm. And I like to work. Mm-hmm. And I'm lucky enough that I can kind of pick and choose enough that I love what I work on. So it's there's no shortage of that, thank God. But I just keep doing it. If someone wasn't paying me, I'd still be in the corner doing it.
Away,
yeah. I'd be doing whatever I wanted, and maybe that's good. Maybe that's better. Maybe I should drop out.
No. I speak for everybody, no.
Drop out for 5 years and do a really cool project and then show back up.
There we go.
With my project.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Kind of like Kiss. Just kind of disappeared off the map
like
and then retoured again.
Kind of like Judas Priest.
There we go. Ooh, awesome artwork. What does the comic book industry need to do to save comic books staying on paper, because everything's going so digital?
Well, they need to embrace digital. They can't shun it, or it'll be a war that they can't win. I think you have to embrace both. One of the things that I think is great about digital is that when you go somewhere to purchase a digital book, the young kids, which I still consider myself one of at the tender age of 44, You know, they can download their digital books off their PS3s or whatever, off the computer, and that's how they embrace the format. Good, because then we have comics readers. I don't care how they get fed it, you know?
Right.
But we still have the option anywhere you go, graphically, Comixology, amusedom.com, where you can go and you can go, hey, let me download that thing for $2.99. You know, I'd rather have a book. Well, there's an option there for print on demand. I'll pay a few more dollars for it, and they'll ship me a book. I think that's genius.
Yeah.
And that way, you get both. And you know, the publishers don't have to be on the hook for printing 5,000 books that they have to warehouse. It takes out so much. I mean, I think it saves the industry in a way.
Okay. Yeah.
So, you know, you just can't. You can never. When there's new trends and they latch hold the way this one does, you're stupid if you go, well, I hate that. You know, you cannot read it, you cannot experience it that way, but at the same time, it's where we're headed. So,
Right.
I don't think there'll ever be, well, as long as I'm alive, there won't be a situation where we can't hold paper in our hands if we want to. I think people are worried about something that's, you know, people are kind of freaking out about it. They were saying that digital was going to ruin comics 10 years ago.
Right. But it hasn't.
No, it's kept companies alive. I don't know if this is a company that I know. This is like a year and a half or 2 years ago. I was sitting in a meeting room with them, and they said that their fourth quarter they did more revenue from digital downloads than from their print media. And that was like that sign that we were all, oh, here it comes, you know?
Right.
All it did was save that company. Mm-hmm. And they're still they're still one of the champions of print media. So their digital media is allowing them to still do their print media.
Right.
What more do you need to know?
Yeah, that says it all right there. What more do I need to know? I ask everybody the same 3 questions on my show. Who's your favorite superhero?
Deathlock.
Nice. Who's your favorite villain?
Deathlock. Anti-hero. Who's my favorite villain? Good Lord. That's a good question. I'm going to go Red Skull.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a great look.
Ultron. No, I'll stick with Red Skull.
And who's your real life hero? I'm sure you got a lot. Who inspires you?
Real life hero? My pop. My brother. Yeah. My mom. My family.
It's good.
Yeah.
There's nothing cliche or bad about that. I like that answer.
That's just, I wouldn't have been able to manufacture anything else, I don't think.
Right, yeah, you talked about your parents in the panel and
yeah.
them helping push you and support you.
Yeah, I mean, if you get support to chase your dream, you know, that's a gift.
All right, and where can people find your stuff? TimBradstreet.com or?
You know, I'm on Facebook, Tim Bradstreet at typepad.com. Google Tim Bradstreet, you'll find me.
He's not hard to find, guys.
No.
Yeah. You got a Twitter?
Would you like to touch it?
You do. No, but Wes would. I like to bring Wes into every interview because it's awkward. Well, thank you very much, Tim.
Thank you, Hoss.
All right, thanks for stopping in once again down the road show. We're here Long Beach Comic Con. Tim Bradstreet, living legend, awesome. Go check out his stuff.
Right on.
Thank you.
All right, cool. Now